Hey teacher friend, welcome back to my channel. My name's Molly and I'm a first grade teacher who helps other elementary teachers eliminate stress during literacy time so they can spend more time teaching and less time prepping. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make reading stations less stressful and more efficient. If you haven't seen some of my other videos, go back and watch those because I talk a lot about how to structure your literacy time so that you can get to all of your guided reading groups efficiently and effectively. You probably are going to guess my first tip, and that's going to be use the Daily 5. It's going to create more independent learners, and in my last week's video, I talked a lot about that, so check that one out. But truly, kindergartners, first graders, I've tested it out. They can do it all the way until 5th grade. It's the perfect way to structure that literacy block so that you can get to all your guided reading groups and your other students can be independently working, building their confidence, and accomplishing all the tasks that you need them to get done so they can work on the skills that you need them to master. All right, so my next tip is to change activities out at least every month. A lot of elementary teachers will put pressure on themselves that they have to change out station activities every week. You don't have to. Unless you love to, then that's totally cool. But don't put that pressure on yourself. We tell ourselves all the time that kids are going to get bored, and they're not. And if they are, they really need to learn how to push past that. And that's what I love about the Daily 5 is stamina building. I don't mean the kind of board where they're not challenged. I'm talking about the kind of board where they can't hold their attention. And I've worked with kids like that before that want to change activities every 5 minutes. And that's why you build stamina from day one, and they'll get better at it. If they come from a home where they're allowed to do whatever they want, that makes it really tough. But in the end, Daily 5 is really soothing to them because it's predictable and it allows them to have quiet time to work, which they really need to be able to be alone with their thoughts and accomplish a task. So I really encourage you to try it and not try to switch everything out all the time. Maybe every 2 weeks, maybe word work, you have to switch out that frequently. It just depends on the kids that you have in your class and what you're teaching in their book clubs, book group. Okay, my next tip is practice the routines until they're mastered. I talk about this all the time, but don't move on at the beginning of the year from read to self to work on writing until they've built their stamina to that 15-minute mark. It's so key to build their stamina. And I do have a read to self stamina chart, and I'm going to work on making one for everything during Daily 5 so that you could have one for work on writing as well and all the other station activities, because it's really important for the kids to see their stamina go from 0 minutes to 15 on a graph. And that's what the stamina chart does. And you can blow it up on a poster maker and make it bigger. The kids love that. And you can really talk it up. And even all the way until 5th grade, it's so important to build stamina. And the only way to do that is to practice it and not move on until it's mastered. Okay, my next tip goes along right with that. Use the stamina chart. You can make one yourself too. You don't have to buy the one in my TPT store, but if you want one that's already pre-made and really low cost, then I have one and I'll leave it in the description box. But it's really key to show them the progress they're making. It's like the example I want to use is, let's say you want to lose 10 pounds and you keep a little chart of it every time you lose a pound. Doesn't it feel so good to check that off, to look at it? Kids feel the same way about their goals, and talking about building the stamina and using their brain muscles is such a great conversation to have with them, especially with our early primary grades. Those kids really need that, but our older kids need it too. They're kids just like any other kid. All right, my last one is to use a smartboard chart to have your students rotate independently. Okay, so in my classroom, I talked about this before in another video, but it was really dragging me down to have to come back to the carpet the way the original Daily 5 method has you do and read off the choices to the kids. So I made a smartboard chart with their name going down the left-hand side and then the 5 choices they have that day color coordinated. And so then they can go find their choice. If they see RS, it's read to self. If they have W, then it's work on writing. so on and so forth. And that is also my TPT store. And it's Excel, but it's also Google Sheets. So if you're a Google person, you can use either one. It's 100% editable. So you can change the student names and the activities out because you might call your activities something different. I'm telling you, that is life-changing. And in that product, I have a video on how to edit it so that you won't be confused about what to do to make it customized to your class. Absolutely a game changer. Okay, well, I hope all these tips helped you and encourage you to make your reading stations run a little bit more efficiently and effectively so that you can get to all your reading groups. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with another elementary teacher, especially when we get back to school time. It's a great time to revamp how you're doing literacy. If you're changing grades, another great thing to try out as well. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can be the first to know on Wednesdays when I drop a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.